Hi, it's Dorothy Guining with Scrapbooking Quebec. In this video, I'll be creating a 12 by 12 layout featuring Stampin' Up's Delicate Dreams Specialty Designer Series paper and the Heirloom Boutique Stamp and Die Bundle. I dig into some other tools as well, and everything I use will be listed below along with my link to Stampin' Up. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. On my table, I have two 3.5 by 5 photos that are matted in white cardstock. That's me with my sister having a coffee. On my table is the Delicate Dreams Designer Series paper pack. It's half of it actually. There's one each more of each one of these papers. I'm not sure if that came out right, but I think you know what I mean. There's twice as many papers as you see on the table in the paper pack. I'm showing you both sides. It is a specialty paper because there are foil accents on the A side, and the foil accents are in like a copper foil. Super beautiful. I find this quite a versatile collection. At first glance, it's very floral, and indeed it is. It's beautiful. But if you look at the B-sides, there's a lot of neutrals that are tone on tone. I can see using it for an elegant wedding, and I bet I can get a layout out of it for a hike in the woods. So I think it's quite versatile. For today's layout, I'm selecting the floral paper that you see on the right, and I also have a B-side, which looks like a tone-on-tone linen in crumb cake. I want to save a lot of the floral papers in this collection for their A-side, so in order to stretch this collection, I'm going to be bringing in some other paper, starting with some two-tone cardstock. So I have crumb cake, hydrangea hue, and willow white, all coordinating colors, and that is going to be my frame style foundation page. I'm also going to be digging from these two paper packs. This first one is called Gingham Gallery. It is in all of the 2026-2028 in colors, and I find paper like this gingham fabulous for mixing with other patterns. So I'm going to select the hydrangea hue and add it to my paper pile. It looks fabulous with that floral paper that's already on my table. Same thing from this other paper pack. It's called Painted Patterns. It comes in many different color families. The one I have here is the 2026-2028 in color. You can see there are large dots, small dots, large stripes, small stripes, very usable patterns that mix well with other printed paper. So I'm going to be bringing in that small dot pattern there. So now I have lots of that floral paper from Delicate Dreams left over for other layouts. I do have two stamp and die bundles at first here. The first one is called Heirloom Boutique, so I'm going to be using that for florals. The other one is called Life in Bloom. There are floral bits, but also big wordy bits that are great for titles, and that's what I'm going to be using for my title. Off camera, I created a frame style foundation page with 3 sheets of paper. There is a tutorial on my channel where I explain how to do that, as well as how to gut the paper from behind. So that video is listed and linked below. I am showing you that I did round the corners on the white cardstock. I did that with a Creative Memories corner rounder. And here are my pattern papers. So I have 4 of them, and I want to select 3 of them to cut into strips, and that's going to go on top of my foundation page and underneath my photo. So right now I'm just playing around with the patterns, deciding which 3 I want of the 4 patterns, and also which order I want them to appear on my page. In the end, what I end up going with is the floral, the check, and that linen tone on tone. I will use the other pattern for something else later on this layout. Right now what I'm going to do is cut this paper down into strips. So at this point they measure 3 inches by 9.5 inches, and I will put measurements on the screen later in the process when I adhere them to the foundation page. What I'm showing you right now is that I did ink up the edges of my paper, and the ink color I used was Sahara Sand. I intended to use crumb cake, however, I mistakenly used Sahara sand, which is a little bit lighter than crumb cake. I think it's retired. Anyway, I inked up the edges of those strips of paper. Now what you see me doing is additioning paper for photo mats. So essentially what I'm doing is using the same paper that was in my frame style foundation page, and I tried the crumb cake. Then I tried the hydrangea hue. I really like the hydrangea hue, so that's what I'm going to go for. And off camera, I cut myself some mats for my photos. And now what I want to do is adhere these strips to the page. I could have done this off camera, but there is a little trick I want to share, so I decided to include it in the video. Before adhering, however, I decide to round the corners on these strips of paper, just on the outer strips. And then what I will have to do is add a bit of ink to those corners because I kind of clipped off the ink that was already there. And the reason why I want to adhere the strips on camera is I want there to be a margin that is equal all around the outside of those 3 strips of paper. And there is a trick to doing that quickly and easily. I am starting on the right side, and what I'm doing is making sure that the top, the right side, and the bottom are all equal distant to the edge of the frame. Basically the edge of that crumb cake paper that is the 12 by 12 in the frame style foundation. In my case, it is 1¼ inch to the edge on 3 sides. Once I'm happy with that, I jump to the opposite side, so the left side on my page, and I'm doing the very same thing. I'm measuring, making sure it's equal distant around the 3 sides, 1¼ inch to the edge of the frame. Once I'm happy with that, then I simply position the strip in the middle. I more or less eyeball it, but it's a really quick way of just making sure you get a nice equal frame all around those strips of paper. So what I want to do right now before adhering my photos is create my title and my journaling box. So I'm showing you the Life in Bloom stamp and die bundle. I am going to be using a wordy stamp from that and a die that cuts it out for my title. And for my journaling box, I'm going to be using the Made with Sweetness bundle. So the dies for this have these giant recipe cards, 2 of them. I use them all the time. And there are also a bunch of dies for standalone fruit dies. The stamp set for this bundle has a bunch of wordy bits. This bundle is on the last chance list, or it was the last time I checked, and it is reduced in price. I use it all the time. I just showed you the paper that I plan to use for my journaling box, which is that polka dot paper, but we'll get back to that a little bit later on. Now you can see I am going to stamp my title. So I have my stamp positioner out, and I am placing some white cardstock on the magnetic plate, which is at the bottom. And now you can see my stamp is on the plexiglass plate that goes on top. I am going to be using the Hydrangea Hue ink, and I am going to ink this probably 3 or 4 times. Now for the stamp positioner, the bottom plate has these nubs, and the top plate has holes that fit on top of those nubs. As long as you position that plexiglass plate on top of those nubs, your stamp is going to stamp in the exact same spot. I absolutely love it, and the top has kind of a spring action. I stamped that 3 or 4 times. I love the saturated image I got, and now what I'm going to do is die cut it. The coordinating dies have 2 nesting label dies for the titles, and for the title I selected, which is Enjoying the Simple Things in Life, I need the largest labels. That's what you see me positioning on top of my stamped wordy bit. I do put a bit of low tack tape there. It is straight, the wording, so I want the die to remain straight when I run it through my die cutting machine. And once I cut it out, I will want a mat behind that. So what you'll see me do is simply take a scrap of this crumb cake two-tone cardstock, which is in the foundation page as well, and I'm going to cut myself out a little mat that measures about 1/4 inch bigger than that label. So now I have a nice title For the journaling box, I will cut that off camera. And as you can see, my journaling box is done. I did do my journaling on white cardstock. I printed it from the computer. I left a big space to the left because I do plan to layer a photo on top of that. And from the Made with Sweetness bundle, I'm showing you the stamp set. It is full of wordy bits. So what I did was I stamped the word together in the tab. There is my title, and now I'm showing you a bunch of flowers and leaves I created with the Heirloom Boutique bundle. I would have done some of this on camera, except I did a whole bunch of these a few weeks ago in perfect colors for this Delicate Dreams paperback, so that's what I'm going to use. Here is the die set, and in it there are 4 standalone floral dies. There are also 2 standalone leaf dies, as well as the center for the flowers. Now there are dies for flowers for stamped images. That's what I'm showing you right now. So what I did for these ones is I stamped them in black ink and then I colored in the flowers with Stampin' Blends markers. Now I'm showing you a few other flowers. Basically, with all of these bits and pieces, you can layer them up. So you can use them individually, or you can layer the flowers one on top of the other. So now we'll have a look at the rest of my embellishments. So in this first tray here, I have a bunch of leaves in a bunch of different colors, all cut from that Heirloom Boutique die set. In this second tray here, these are embellishments I created with a retired stamp and die set from Stampin' Up called Latte Love. This story is about having coffee with my sister. Now, so far, everything is very, very general, and I absolutely love it. But one way to make a very general collection theme specific is use the general collection, but just tuck in a few little pieces of theme-specific embellishments, and that's exactly what I'm doing here. I'm showing you I have a little French press. I have a few little coffee mugs, super, super cute. So in and amongst my flowers and my leaves, I'm going to tuck that in, and that's just going to add a little bit of theme specificness, if that's a word, to my layout. In this other tray, I have a bunch more of the flowers, all created with that Heirloom Boutique collection. And in the bottom tray, I have some adhesive dots. One of them from this Delicate Dreams collection. It's called Natural Matte Dots. And the other one is the 2026-2028 in color dots. So first I'm going to start by placing the larger elements on my page, the photos, the journaling layer, along with my title. What I will do off camera right off the bat is I am going to adhere my photos and the journaling box. I will keep the title loose right now because I'm not quite sure where I want to place it. It will depend on my embellishing. In my plan, you're going to see my hands wave all over the place. Basically, my plan is to have a large cluster in the bottom right that kind of hugs and overlaps the journaling box and underneath the title, and then a small repetition of that in the top left corner. Off camera, when I was adhering the photos, I did put some foam adhesive behind the title, but it's not adhered to the page quite yet. So now what I'm going to do is start building clusters. And as always, I'm going to start with the larger bits. So I'm going with the larger floral bits. Then I come in with that super cute French press for the coffee, coming in with some more of the flowers. So starting with the larger ones, then gradually going towards the smaller flowers. Then I do have some leaves as well to tuck in, but first I'm adding a few flowers in that top left corner. I definitely want that cluster to be smaller than the cluster in the bottom right. There I go, tucking in some of the leaves, and I do have some other pieces as well that are smaller, and what I end up doing for that is simply waiting till the end, and then I will tuck them in as finishing touches. I will probably be showing you that at one point after I stop tucking in these leaves. Leaves really do kind of round out an embellishment cluster. I also have a few coffee mugs there. You see them just to the right of the page. I might have tried to tuck them in already. I had a little bit of trouble with that. That is another thing that I decided to reserve until the end of the video when I do my finishing touches. I'm just showing you those sprigs, the same thing. I'm going to come in with those later once I've adhered all of this to the page. So that's what I'm going to start doing right now. I probably should have taken a photo instead of completely deconstructing my embellishment cluster, but it's not too tough. Anyway, I started by adhering the flowers there, and when I go to adhere the title, at this point I did decide I want it in the middle at the bottom. So I started trying to adhere it on film, and then I ended up turning off my camera and getting out my ruler just to make sure it is in the center where I wanted it to be. So at this point I turn off my camera, and then I'm going to come back and finish my cluster. I do add some foam adhesive to some of these embellishments, including that Secret Sea, that dark blue flower that I'm adhering right now. It is overlapping the title, which is already on foam adhesive. And now I'm coming in with some of the leaves. There is a smaller flower there that I do want to adhere, but I'm not quite sure where to put it, so I toss it aside with those sprigs along with those coffee cups, and I'll get back to that later on. Now I am in the opposite corner. So at this point, I'm adhering two of the middle-sized flowers, one smaller one, and some of those bigger leaves. And again, I'll come in later with the more delicate sprigs. So now I'm showing you the sprigs. I do have them in 3 different colors, but I decide to just go with the ones that are metallic. The paper I used for that is called earthen tone metallic paper. It almost looks like the metallic that is in the designer series paper I'm using, Delicate Dreams. So at this point I tucked 5 in the bottom cluster, 2 in the top cluster, but I'm finding them a little big. It seems so minimal, but in person they're looking too big. So when I go to adhere them off camera, I end up kind of trimming them down a bit. And you can see just to the right of me, I have all of these little ends of the sprigs that I cut off. I cut them off from the inside, the part that tucks underneath the flower. I also adhered my little coffee mugs just to the right of my little French press there. And I'm showing you that in the top left corner, I kind of tweaked it a bit. The photo was further to the right underneath the photo in the middle, and I felt it was a bit too cramped, so basically I just pulled it out a bit, a little bit more towards the left. It just felt more freeing to me. And in that cluster with the flowers, now there are 2 small flowers instead of 1, and 1 big flower instead of 2 big flowers. I'm also showing you that I did try to add a few little adhesive dots there, but I ended up doing that off camera. Often when it comes time to those adhesive dots, I just need a little bit of time to think. So what I ended up doing was using the 2026-2028 in color dots, and I put them in the corners on that title block. But basically, that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd greatly appreciate a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, Scrapbooking Quebec, I would be thrilled if you did. And if you are a subscriber, thank you very, very much. As I mentioned in the intro, everything I used is listed below along with my link to Stampin' Up. If you live in Canada and use the link, I will get a commission, and please know that I appreciate your support very, very much. Have a great day, and I will see you soon on YouTube. Bye-bye.